Hi, my name is David Weeder. I am one of the co-founders of the Likud Anglo division. I am here sitting and we're going to speak with Hebron Knesset, a member of Knesset, a member of Israeli Parliament, Oren Hazan. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. My name is Oren Hazan. I'm the youngest guy member of Knesset. I'm second generation here. So it's supposed to be easier to me, but it's not, believe me, it's not. And I was expecting to this interview, so you lead, I follow.
Right. I heard you speak in the Knesset, in the forum, in the Knesset about Donald Trump coming to the Kotel,
Yeah.
Comparing the way that he acted versus the way that I guess
Part of
Jews
us,
are acting, from especially from America. How do you see that? What is your opinion on what's actually going on with the Kotel?
Listen, I will start from the end. Our worst enemy, who is it? Our worst enemy? Ourselves. Exactly. We dreamed for thousands of years to come here. We see I have a map on the wall, a big map that reminds me where's our borders. Our fathers and mothers fought, so we had a chance to sit here and make this interview. People spilled blood, so we will have future in the land of Israel. We are not here because somebody did us a favor. We are here because this is our right. Now, during our history, many of times people try to erase these things that called Judaism. So we know we have 70 faces to the Torah. We know this. Maybe today it's 7,000 faces to the Torah. I'm sure about this too. But when I sit in the parliament and try to take decision about rules, how I'm supposed to act in the Jewish state, I'm looking at those that we lost during the way. And when I see people that was willing to die just to keep the Judaism as we know it, if people in the Holocaust, for example, before they go to the gas chambers, it was important to them to light candles of Shabbat, to keep Torah, to keep holidays. How can us, now when we are free people in our own nation, in our own land, don't want to do it? This is what led me. So during the way when people try to change the reality as we know it for thousands of years, I will not accept this and I will not allow it. As personally, everybody can do whatever you want to do. But as a state, I need to keep going the same road that the Jewish nation walked since the dawn of history. This is what I do. And when you speak about the Kotel, let's say it like this. During the last years, people are go farther and farther from Judaism. We know this.
Yeah, they've kind of strayed from the status quo.
Yeah, we don't have status quo anymore. When Ben-Gurion declared the state of Israel, he spoke about keeping Shabbat, don't give transportation, kosher stuff. We don't have those things anymore. Some of them, it's normal that will happen because, it's not globalization, but it's when you walk through the future, everybody go further, you go with them. But we have responsibility, and this responsibility starts in the small two words, Jewish state. For example, when Donald Trump, we spoke about the president, when he came to Israel, before he left the state, he said, I will go to the Jewish state to stronger our relation. When you hear almost our leaders, he don't say Jewish state, he says state of Israel. We start with those small things. And as farther as we get from our history and legacy and religion, we lost our way. And I will not agree that it will happen on my watch. We need to leave something behind us in memory to those we lost and to give hope and future to those that are supposed to come after us. And when you speak with me about the Kotel, we have only one Kotel. We have only one thing more holy from the Kotel. The Kotel is not supposed to be a holy place. It's holy because all the
Kotel is a parking lot.
Yeah, but he become holy because all of the tears of happiness and tears of sadness that went there. People came there. He got his holiness from the people. I believe that one day, I hope it will be sooner that we expect, we will go up to the Temple Mountain. This is what my faith. I'm not wearing a yarmulke on my head. And before I got elected, I said if I will be Prime Minister of Israel one day, and I hope I will be, I will do everything I can to build the third temple. Why? Because this is what we need to do. So some will hear me and say that I'm crazy, radical, maybe, I don't know.
So does that mean that you own a donkey?
No, I don't need a donkey. Actually, I was I had horses. I even had one white horse. She was amazing. She's dead now. It's sad. It's a sad story. We're not gonna go there, but it's not a story about the donkey, and I think it's something bigger than this. Every day that we live our life, most of the people don't take part in what's going on here. They go to bars, they go to restaurants, they drive on the roads, they go to discotheque, they go to the parks with their family. Some of them don't remember that so they can do it, people lost their life for this. People say we need to keep what we have. No, first we need to be worthy. We need to be worthy for this. People left us something, they do it. Now in those days we are marking 120 years for the first Zionist Congress. The biggest, why I say this, you need to understand, from my point of view, the biggest question that actually started this conflict, first between us to ourselves, it's the question in which time the history started. Some will say 120 years in the first Zionist Congress, some will say 69 and 3 months declaration of Israeli state, some will say in the Holocaust, some will say 2,070 years ago when the first and second Temple Mount is lost.
It's only say 5,777 years.
No, but this is our fate. Why Americans that live in the state can speak about Freemasons and Templars and history that happened 1,000 or 2,000 years ago, and we denied our history. Why? It's not about religion, it's about the faith of where we started and where we go. UNESCO, take UNESCO for example.
So Danny Danon has been doing a really strong job in the UN.
He's doing a job, he's doing a very good job. He's the right guy on the right time.
Right, there's been two decisions by UNESCO. One is about the Temple Mount, about the
second,
Kotel.
the Kotel.
And then the second one is what
Hebron.
they just did in Hebron. So, I mean, the Prime Minister Netanyahu didn't make a response. You think he made a big enough response, or do you think it was a small response? He took away $1 million from UN, and I don't even know what projects he's going to invest in.
I have a problem with let's say it like this. I have a problem with people that when they respond. No, it's not this. It's when the Prime Minister decides. Let's say it like this: when there is an act and react. Okay, now UNESCO decided that Hebron doesn't belong. It's not a Jewish legacy. It's a Palestinian legacy, and we all know that there is no Palestinian people. There isn't. Everybody know it. We have proof for this. It's not about agree. It's about looking clear on history. By the way, they admitted. They said that Yasser Arafat, Imach Shelo V'Zichro, he is the father of the nation. It was only 40 years ago. So they tried to get recognition, but 2,000 years ago there wasn't here. So
he was born in Egypt.
Yeah, but the fact is that a lot of people today, I'm here on the Knesset today, a lot of MKs and ministers go up and say, now we need to build in Hebron. No, it's not now. We don't need to build in Hebron now because UNESCO say it's not belong to us. We need to build in Hebron yesterday because it is our right. Ben Gurion, he wasn't from my part of the political map. Ben Gurion say, on his book, Hebron 1970, he said, we will make a huge mistake if we will not build in Hebron, a sister of Jerusalem, a big Jewish community, and in the fastest time that we can do. This is what he said. If you hear the people that believe that they are continue the way of the road of Ben Gurion today in the Knesset, they don't believe in it. They think we need to give Hebron. We lost something on the way.
Sounds more like Baruch Marzel than people today.
And you know why? Because 70 years ago we didn't have a state, and finally when we managed to do it, even in the last hours they tried to take it away from us when the British finished the mandate on the land of Israel. They do it in Shabbat, so we cannot declare. They wanted to give the Arabs that live here a chance to kick us out of here. We strong, first because of our soul, then because we don't afraid to walk on the long road, and we have God that keep us. And again, it's not about religion and wearing a yarmulke and keeping Torah and Shabbat. It's about the way that you look on your history. And again, if you ask me, we should build in Hebron exactly like we should build. I live in Ariel, for example. We don't build in Ariel today. We don't build in Judah and Shumeria. This is our mistake. So when the Goyim look at us from outside and they say, wait, they kick themselves out. So We just need to give them a small push and they will go and they will live. You need to understand, people need to understand. The first people that spoke about giving territories from the land of Israel to Palestinians was Jewish. And the first people that spoke about BDS, marking products in Judea Shomria, was members of Knesset, Jewish member of Knesset in this Knesset. The first person that speak about two-state solution, and this is illusion. I don't believe in it. This is a fake. This is lie. The first that speak about two-state solution, it's our Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. When people from outside Israel hear those things, yeah, and he don't go back. He walk between the drops. I don't believe in this way. I believe, like, let's say it like this. I say that I'm second generation in the Knesset. My father was a member here when they vote for the disengagement plan from Gaza Strip. I spoke with him one day, and I asked him, okay, but why? I understand why, because he's told you need to understand what
he
they
voted
tried.
For it, or
no, he voted against. He's lost his place. And I asked him, okay, what do you explain to people? He said, listen, you need to understand, the land of Israel doesn't belong to me. It's belonged to my father and my grandfather, may they rest in peace. It's belonged to you and to your son and grandson that will come in the future. Exactly. And I don't have any mandate or agree or nothing pass to give an inch from the land of Israel. And this is the education that I got at my home. This is why I'm here now. And when I take it to a different place, let's leave the land of Israel, for example.
You live in Ariel, so you live close to, for instance, to Kfar Saba. It's pretty close. And there recently there was, they marked something like 15,000 houses to be built in Kalkilia, which is an Arab neighborhood or Arab town that's in Area C, which is totally under our control.
I will tell you.
And in Alefei Menashe, for instance, they're not building.
I told you, they're not building in Ariel, for example. Yeah.
Alefei Menashe is even closer to.
I will tell you something very, very scary. First, I know as a guy that don't afraid to say what he think, what he feel. I have the same, most of the, all the time. I always said what I feel. I have one in my heart, it's the same in my mouth. I don't play the political game. When I heard about those 14,000 unit building in Kalkilia, I asked myself, let's say it like this, it doesn't smell good for me. I started to do a research. Then I figured that those 14,000 units that they're going to build, it's only a cover to a bigger thing that they build all over the place. All over the place. They let us run and speak and fight against Kalkilia, and in the meantime
so why wasn't it
they clear because this is the news. They like mouses, they see the cheese, they run to the cheese, and they fell in the. This is the game. Now, why I tell you this? I live in Ariel. We said I drive every time in road 60. You heard about this road? I go to Shomron, Benjamin, straight to Jerusalem. On the way, all those places. In the road that I go, a lot of people lost their way in the last years because of terror attacks. And I still drive from there, even though the Knesset don't allow me to. And I say to them, if people, citizens of Israel state, can drive there without security, safety, and escort, I can do it. We share the same blood. So we don't agree about this, but I do what I believe it's good to do, and I will not give up for terror. This is a fact. But why I tell you about this Road 60? When I drive in Road 60, two things are catching my eyes. First, a lot of houses, buildings, units in the Arab village are empty. Ghost towns. Totally ghost towns from one side, and from the other side, and from the other. So this is why everybody say millions of Arabs, Palestinians live in Judea and Shomria. Where they are, I don't know them. It's not millions, for sure. But the other things that catching my eyes and scared me, it's the fact that they build. We let them build,
even illegally.
Yeah, it's. Listen, the Israeli government cabinet decided they will not force the law on people that build illegally from the Arab side in sea territories. It's a fact, and it scares me. Why? Every time I drive, sometimes I go with Rinat, my wife, sometimes I go with my friend, my assistant. Every time I'm pointing on a different place and I say, you see, they building them on states. they're gonna take what belongs to us, and it scares me because we give them the push.
Basically, they're putting facts on the ground.
Exactly, and it's about time that we had a prime minister that will not afraid to say it. We are here because this is our right. We had ministers and prime ministers like this in the past, but slowly, the funniest thing is that the people that wanted to build the most in Judah and Shumria was from the left side of the map. Suddenly, we're gonna lose it. Let's take this conversation for a different point of view on politics. It's the same not just in ideology, not just in economic, in security, it's the same all over. Most of the people that have a good title next to their name, they don't really think about what's going to happen after we'll be there. They think what's going to happen now. They do what they do for a good headline in the paper, for a few likes on Facebook, and it's not okay. If we was like this 69 years ago, we didn't have a state today, believe me. And if you take it to the other side, if you will take the Declaration of Independence, word by word, today, and you will try to find a leader that will say, I want to declare on an Israeli Jewish state in the land of Israel, I'm not sure we can find one like this.
So if you look around the country, there has been a lot of infrastructure that's been built under the Likud in the past 10 years that Bibi has been in power. So it is sort of a look forward. You have the fast train from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem that's almost finished. You have the road from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem is finished. You have roads going to Bet Shemesh.
Don't get me
huge
wrong.
Infrastructure all over the country.
Let's say it like this. Don't get me wrong. We do a lot of things. You're speaking about roads. I live in the center of Israel. If you take the map and you close it to 4 and you open, you will see Ariel exactly in the center. It's amazing. But what the Likud did, he took the periphery, he took the north and the south and make everything in the center. We all united. In one day I can go to Elat, the farthest south point, and go to in the same day to Nahariya or to Hebron. I can do it. It's easy. It's very easy today. But look at me as a young MK. When I was put my nomination, when I was a candidate, I walk all over and I ask people to vote for me. I told them, listen, I'm a young guy. I was in the Israeli military. I'm a second lieutenant on the Israeli Air Force. But I don't go to the Knesset to deal with security and safety. There is bigger people than me that can deal those things. I live in Ariel. I believe that the whole land of Israel belongs to us. There is only one state, from the Jordan to the river, from the Jordan River to the sea, from Hebron to Elat, only the Jewish state. But I don't go to the Knesset to fight on ideology. I want to be in the Knesset the guy that gives the message for the young people, for the next generation. What's happened? In the meantime, those 2 years and 3 months, I find myself time after time fight on ideology because we give up too easily. We had a minister of security that he didn't do his job and we paid with blood. I'm not talking about paid with
Minister
land.
of the Defense.
Bogi Elon, Minister of Defense, yeah. When I see those things as a young guy, I can't sit on the side and be quiet.
I heard you speak about him a lot on
Yeah,
and
exactly.
all these different places.
I do those things because it's burning inside of me. Same things, we have the flag next to us. This flag I love so much. We share in the same date of birth. My birthday is 28th of October. The date that they decided this would be our flag was 28th of October 48. I born in 81, but the date is the same date. People don't care about the flag anymore. I found myself doing laws that dealing with flag, doing laws that dealing with our symbols, doing laws that dealing with our national item. On the other side, I'm doing, for example, a law that will teach people the language of Arab in Israel, because I believe Arab is more important than English in Israel. In the Middle East, for sure. Especially when you have Arabs that live among us. Yes, this is Jewish state. 80% of Jewish, nobody can take it away from us. But we have a minority of Arabs that live next to us. Most of the people, if they stand on a bus station and they hear Arab, they are scared because you see what's going on all over
They
the
don't
world. It's
understand
normal, yeah. But I believe that if you will teach them Arab, it will be a bridge for the Arab culture. It will be easier for both of the sides to live here. So I do things to unite from one side, but I never forget that this belongs to us. That the land of Israel belongs to the Jewish nation and not to nobody else. It belongs to Israel and not to Ishmael. You know, this is what I said.
So, what do you consider your biggest accomplishment since you've been in the Knesset?
Oh, it's a good question. I cannot point on one thing and say this is my biggest. I can tell you that as a young MK, I already moved more than 16 laws. I'm working on lots of others. I take care of for people that, for example, for the old guys that work in safety. You see how many times you had a chance to move by a school or by a mall or by some construction area, and you see this old guy that working as a security guy that keep and he sit under the sun or maybe in the rain, nobody care. So I did a law that they need to give them the minimum, like small unit with electricity, with warmness or coldness, so they can feel from the other side. I did a law, you know, it's funny, you ask me, maybe this is the biggest thing I did. It will sound silly to most of the people just because they don't understand. We speak a lot in this conversation on Declaration of Independence. When Ben Gurion declared on the Jewish state, the idea was the Declaration of Independence will become our chukah. Suddenly, Constitution, yeah, sorry.
No.
They planned that the Declaration of Independence will become our constitution. Suddenly, the court slowly make it only declarative, only something that will show you the way. There was one thing inside that I was sure that we need to put on law. What is Israel? When you walk on the street and you will ask Jewish, most of them will tell you, oh, our name came from Jacob. When you ask Arab, they will say there is no meaning about this. When you ask most of the people, they will not know what we're going to do in 50 years from now, because you see what's happened now. Only 69 years ago old, this state, and slowly we're losing our religion places, we're losing our symbols. And I decided that we need to put it on law, so people will understand why Israel. And the fact that if you open the declaration, you say, what is Israel? I will say it in Hebrew. He said, Ben Gurion said, אנו מכריזים בזאת על מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל, היא מדינת ישראל. We declare on a Jewish state in the land of Israel, she is the state of Israel. And I put it on law. It was the first time that somebody took a part from the Declaration of Independence that was supposed to be something totally different and put it on law. And when Prime Minister Netanyahu heard about this the first time, he said, keep it on quiet. We don't want them to fail you on this. And this is what I did. But most than this, I think I'm proud of the fact that I am the voice of the people. I said everything. When I see something bad, I scream. When I see somebody cry, I help him to clear his tears, but I scream his voice. I keep on our soldiers. I always said, our soldiers, you will never walk alone. Never. Those things I do, and I hope I will have the chance to be here in this parliament for many years to serve my people.
It was very nice to meet you, very nice to speak to you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Hope to do it again.
Anytime.